Hey friends, it's Cindy from Cindy Gets Fit. I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery on March 31st, 2016 in St. Louis, Missouri at Barnes Jewish Hospital at the Washington University Medical Center campus. I am 53 years old. I'm 5'3". My starting weight was 232.4. Day of surgery, I was about 222, and today I'm at 135. I stay between 135, I've seen 133, 136 last couple weeks. Life has been pretty stressful for me, and I thought I'd come on here and do a little video to talk about how my success has been managed thus far. I'm 14 months out. I had probably what you would consider a pretty easy journey throughout the first year. I didn't have any issues with medical issues. It took about a year to get through my process, as I've mentioned on previous videos, and that year process, as hard as it was to go through, kind of helped me to get into the mental state that I needed to be in, I think, to make this a successful journey. That, and my husband jumped on board and has been my knight in shining armor. He has just really stuck with me through this process. He's very proud of me, because I also work at Washington University Medical Center campus. I've been surrounded by medical professionals, and so I've not had to deal a whole lot with a lot of negative comebacks or feedbacks or comments from people, because the majority of the people understand. I've maybe had one or two people throughout the process that really sent kind of negative comments my way, and even now I've only had maybe one person that I can think of that tells me that I've lost too much weight and I look like I'm about 115, and you know, things like that. So I feel pretty lucky there. But why has life been so stressful? Well, I think that the majority of us here are in the position that we're in because we have oftentimes addictive personalities, and food is our addiction. That's one of many. You often hear of people who will have weight loss surgery, and because they can't eat to help resolve any unresolved issues, they will switch to other things like drinking or even shopping. And I honestly could see myself becoming a shopaholic, so I really have to kind of stay on top of that and really be aware of my spending. But there are those in my family who have that same addictive personality, and I'm going to share something with you that I haven't shared with many people outside of my close-knit family. I have 3 children, 3 adult children, and I have a stepdaughter, and 2 of my 3 children have had problems with addictions. One is a successful recovering addict. It took that particular child 4 to 5 different times through a rehab facility to be able to get her life on track, and she is doing amazing, and I'm so proud of her. And most recently, in my last video, I mentioned that I had a phone call that was really very troubling to me, and I have really been struggling from that phone call to now, because I have another child who alcohol is his preferred drug of choice. But you know, an addict, there's their main drug of choice, and then there's always the secondary one, and he has finally admitted that he has an addictive personality, and his main addiction is alcohol, but he doesn't have necessarily withdrawal symptoms when he is not drinking, but he has he could easily go into something else, and even has a sex addiction. And I will tell you that all of this we all come by honestly. It's genetic. We have alcoholics in the family. We have those who have had sex addictions in the family. We've had those that have had substance abuse, and I think it's more common than most people realize. So this particular son had gotten himself in such a bad position that he was homeless, and he finally hit rock bottom. The blessing is he hit rock bottom without causing any major physical issues for himself or for anyone else. He had a pretty bad accident, and the car, which happened to be ours, is totaled, and he walked away from it. So as bad as that is, it got him to understand that he finally does need help. We've been offering that once he's ready to help himself, then we will be there to help him. And I'm on my way back from dropping him off at a rehab facility. Why am I coming on here telling you all of this? Because throughout this entire process, you know, it is so easy when we go through any challenges, any struggles in our lives, to fall back on bad habits. Now, because I'm 14 months out, close to 15 months out, I can't necessarily eat myself into an oblivion because I get sick very quickly if I try. I don't try. I have overeaten, but not because I was trying to necessarily comfort myself. But I really have been going through a depression lately. I really have not been in the mood to talk to anyone. I go through the motions and do all the things that I need to do. I go to work. Thankfully, work has kind of calmed down a little bit right now because I don't know that I could deal with, I have a pretty stressful job, and I don't know that I could deal with that work stress and the family stress. Now, my husband, as amazing as he is, this happened to be his car that was wrecked, and I won't go into all the story, but he is pretty upset about it, and so right now he's not able to help deal with my son, so I'm kind of carrying that burden on my own, which is fine because it's my turn basically. But you know, it's been very difficult for me to not just go home and crawl into bed and pull the cover over my head and escape from everything throughout the day when I'm not having to deal with all the things that you have to deal with in life. Instead, my husband wanted to do something, I would go with him and do it. I would spend as much time with him as I could. I don't know that I was the best company, but I have learned over the course of the year that exercise makes me feel amazing on a day when I already felt good. So I would not let myself get in my own head and keep myself from doing those things. I would kind of set myself in motion in a positive way, and so I would get on the treadmill. I may not have done the workout that I would have done on a good day, but I got on it, and I would come close to hitting my goal, if not at least getting, you know, a couple more miles in. I strive to get 11,000 steps a day. I haven't made it every day this week, but I've been close, and I've gotten on that treadmill. And yoga has just become something that I need in my life, basically, because it really takes the stress of life and helps you to release it all. And so even though, you know, misery loves company, and sometimes when we feel miserable, we want to continue to feel miserable. We don't want to allow ourselves to be happy and healthy. And again, I would not allow myself to get inside my head, and I would do some yoga. Maybe it was 15 minutes of stretching and just kind of doing something light. But usually once I got started, so I would say, all right, I'm going to get on the treadmill, I'm going to do a couple of miles, and then we'll be done. But that would make me feel better, so then I would get on, put on a DVD or get on YouTube and do some yoga along with it. So that really helped me to get through the last few days. And today I'm better. I was really concerned. He was in the hospital for a few days, but if they would have discharged him before a bed opened up in a rehab facility, he can't come to our home to stay, and I couldn't imagine him back out on the street. And we've tried some shelters, but you know, no one wants to force their child to be in a place like that. I just don't even want to go there. So anyway, I think my point here is, as hard as life can be, and as easy as it is sometimes to give yourself permission to not be, we need to not allow ourselves to get in our heads and just put one foot in front of the other and stop thinking so much. Just get out of our heads and just stop thinking so much and just do it. You know, I know I've heard Perforce talk about, you know, she just finished her master's program and she's going through her dissertation and everything, and how hard it is on some days to focus on all of that and the food. And I do understand where she's coming from, but I also think that if you have a routine, if you have allowed yourself to be a part of a routine, then those food choices become, there's not much thought that has to be put into it. You have the foods that you can eat and that you should eat in your home, and you know, try not to have as much of the other. Now in my case, my husband has a very sweet tooth, so there's always something sweet in the house, and I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes didn't eat that sweet stuff. I still crave it before bed, but I always start my morning out with a Premier protein shake and mix it in with some iced coffee. It's delicious. That's my morning breakfast. I take something for a mid-morning snack like yogurt. I always take my lunch with me, and honestly, it's the same thing every day because I actually really enjoy what I'm eating and I'm not bored with it. So I have that. I do sometimes reach for the candy dish at work in the afternoon. So I've read somewhere that if you either maybe get up and go for a walk or grab some nuts or almonds instead, that will help with that sweet craving. So that's what I've been trying to do, and it has helped. And then at night, I eat what we have for dinner, and I have gotten myself some protein snacks that are a little on the sweet side to help me with that sweet craving. So if the food is there and you have your routine and you know, just have it available, then you don't have to think about it, and it makes it a little bit easier to grab for the right thing. So that's kind of my take on it this time. I hope that sharing some of this will help someone else along the way. If anybody ever, you know, wants to comment and has any questions or feedback on what I'm saying, maybe you don't agree with it or you have questions about it, I'm open. My point of view is my point of view, and it may not be shared by others, and I enjoy a good debate, basically, or conversation, and I really want to be there to help others. I think that I've experience things that many others experience. And so, all right, well, you all, I hope you have an amazing weekend. It is Friday afternoon. I'm hoping here in the Midwest it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And so you all take care and be happy. Bye.